Hello everybody, welcome back to Loripop Games. Kyo isho ni Katawa Shoujo o shimashou ka. Right, we just had our sweet as tea party, and now we're returning to the action. People are hinting that I should be getting together with Hanako now. I think the characters are really making a push for us. They ship us. I ship us too. I pull my door closed, ready for another day of classes. Kenji time! Finally! Sleep well? Yeah, man. How have you been, boy? Kenji's sudden arrival makes me jump, and I narrowly avoid butting heads with him. I know he has poor eyesight, but he knows who I am now. Does he still have to stand this close? Clearly. There he goes. He's backed off. Oh yeah, like a baby. Damn, why do people say that? Have you ever heard a baby sleep? He makes a very, very, very clever point. Babies are shit at sleeping. They scream all night, every night. Babies don't sleep well ever. Well, there goes my restful state. I have to remember to never use figure of speeches with Kenji. Yeah, he's quite literal. Alright, I get your point. It was a figure of speech, but fine, it's fine. Yeah, sure, whatever. Where were you last night? I had a favor to ask, but you weren't around. You weren't doing anything, like, untoward with two girls in a dorm in their night clothes with a tea set, were you? For a split second, I considered telling Kenji the truth that I was spending time with Hanako and Lily. Thankfully, that split second passes as soon as it comes. I don't think Kenji would not. I don't get that vibe from him. I was just out, checking on the local area and stuff, you know, recon. Oh, no, he would not be happy with that. We'd be doing some sort of, like, injustice to mankind or something if we were caught hanging out with girls on our own accord. Good, man. I knew you were the type to plan ahead. Anyway, what was this favor you wanted? I was going to get some takeout, but I needed change. Wait, what? I gave you money last week and you still haven't paid me back. I know I was starting to think you were cool, man. Kenji fishes around in his pocket and produces his wallet. As he counts out the 400 yen he owes me, I can clearly see at least two 10,000 yen notes. Sounds like such a lot of money. Hey, what the hell? Why are you borrowing money off me when you've got that much cash? Kenji hisses a little, realizing that he's been had. Get off my case, man! It's bad luck to break a big note for anything less than half its value. It's the tycoon's rule. Is that true? Is that actually true? I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe. Last night's dinner is going to cost me 7 years of bad luck. 7 years! Don't you think that's enough cause to help someone out? I'd get a shorter sentence if I just stole the stuff. My common sense screams at me to say something to him, but thankfully, I restrain myself. Arguing a point like this with Kenji will just lead to further and more complicated discussions. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe you should plan these things a little better. Yeah, man, I know. But I've just got so much stuff to do. It's hard. You're never around anymore, so I'm on my own. We're supposed to be brothers in brotherhood. Remember? Oh yeah, I get you. Global conspiracy and such. I'll keep my ear to the ground. Kenji draws close enough for me to get a clear whiff of his garlic-tainted breath. Sexy. You'd better, man. You're already spending less time here. That's the first thing they do. They'll try to split us up. Divide and conquer. Sun Tzu said that. Roger that. Now I've got to get going. I've got classes. Don't you? Aren't you coming? Nah, I'm tired. I stayed up all night just to make sure nothing was going to happen after splitting that note. As rational as ever, I see. Whatever. Night. Morning, but okay. Night. And that's why some people can't roll their tongue, or why their second toe is longer than their big toe. Muto beams a half-moon smile at us, obviously proud of his explanation of recessive genes. However, no matter how impressed he is at the science that defines who we are, the classroom seems to be reduced to a stupor. Why is it that a bad Why is it that I can't talk? Why is it that a bad explanation can make even the most interesting things seem worthless? I think Muto's a cool teacher, man. Give him some slack. I can see Muto deflate as he realizes that nothing he said in the past half hour has sunk in. Whispered conversations start to break the silence, and like an avalanche, the noise level in the class starts to rise. Do you know what I really hate is the noise level of people tapping on their keyboards. Almost as if expected, Hanako packs up her things and leaves as soon as people start talking and laughing amongst themselves. The initial shock of seeing someone play so blatantly truant has started to fade, but it doesn't stop me from wondering. Is she leaving because she doesn't want people to speak to her? Or is it just the thought of people around her shattering her peace? Before I can think about the topic any further, the lunch bell rings. I wonder if she was simply taking the opportunity to leave early. I grab my lunch and head out the door. Lily already sits in the tea room, setting out her lunch alone. So, Hanako's not here then? Oh, Hisayo, is that you? I haven't met Hanako since this morning, I'm afraid. That's right. Lily and Hanako live next to each other. Somehow I think their morning conversations are slightly more grounded than Kenji's ramblings. Yeah, probably. That's strange. She left class early, so I figured that she'd come here. So, she's still leaving class early? Huh? Yeah, I've seen her do it a few times. Lily drops her head a little, and her tone of voice is notably depressed. It's very reminiscent of someone who is used to hearing bad news. I was so sure that she'd stop doing that once you two became friends. Everyone has their own pace, I suppose, but... Well, I was wondering about that just today. Why exactly does she leave? I'm not entirely sure myself. I personally think it's because she doesn't want to be put in a situation where she has to answer to someone. I have a flashback of my first meeting with her, when I thought she looked like a cornered animal. Maybe I wasn't far from the truth. But she seems fine with talking to you and with me. A bit. It's a little more complex than that. I imagine that the first thing most people ask her about is her scars. And what happened. She rarely talks about it with me, but I can tell that she doesn't like to remember whatever happened back then. Leaving class and running away from discussions is her preemptive strike, if you will. Huh? So then how does that explain her talking to me? You said it yourself yesterday at breakfast. You tried to ignore her scars. Once she saw that you weren't going to ask her about that, she opened herself up to you. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe. I don't know. You know her better than I, so I'll take your word for it. I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure you'll come to know her as well as I do soon enough. I welcome the prospect of her having a new friend, and the two of you have such similar interests. Well, I hardly count reading as a team sport. It's good to have company, though. That's my point. Hanako is still an average person at heart. She also wants company at times like that. Huh? I see. I think. To be honest, both of you still confuse me a little. That's only natural, Hisayo. We've only known each other for a little while. It's unreasonable to expect you to understand us, just as we can't understand you. Yeah, it's only been like a week and a bit. So. But that is half the fun of becoming friends, right? Yeah. It is, yeah. Although, I suppose there is the matter of us being opposite genders. Men and women do seem to confuse each other quite often. She says this with a light giggle, finding amusement at the odd little details of life. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to start eating. Yeah, sure. Itadakimasu. Go ahead. I think I'll eat something too. I've got some books I want to drop back at the library before classes start, so I'd better get a move on. You'll probably find Hanako there as well. If you do see her, can you tell her to stop by my room later tonight? I'd like to talk to her. Yeah, can I come? Can we do the pajama thing again? That was great. You're not coming? Unfortunately, I have a class representatives meeting later, so I'll be gone as soon as I've finished my lunch. Okay then, well, if I don't see her in the library, I'll tell her in class. I'm sure she'll be back after lunch. We fall silent as we start to eat, and I take a second to reflect on our conversation. I've always thought that Hanako's shyness was simply due to her being self-conscious of her scars. but that's a pretty superficial way of looking at it. Just when I thought I was able to see through the fog of Lily and Hanako, I realized that I'm more lost than when I started. Lily quickly finishes her lunch, acutely aware of her meeting. I don't blame her. Chizune is most likely going to be there, and I doubt she wants to give her the satisfaction of another argument. I must be off. Same time tomorrow. Same time, same channel. I'd better head off too. I don't want to risk being late. Yeah, we might have to do detention with Chizune again. They just decided I had detention, actually. What is up with that? That's rude. Lily smiles gently, picks up her cane, and walks into the hall. They have like a power complex or something. I turn my back on Lily as we head in opposite directions. For some reason, I find myself hoping she doesn't get into another fight with Chizune. As much as I like Lily, Chizune and Misha have been pretty instrumental in helping me adjust, even if half of our conversations are thinly veiled recruitment attempts. Then again, I barely know either of them. Maybe they were previously leaders in some kind of secret society, but their love for each other drove them apart. Wow, alright, we're just gonna do some poetic assumption. Man, I need to stop reading cheap fiction. Yeah, it's rotting my brain. Either that, or I've got to move away from Kenji and his bad influence. Don't you blame Kenji Time for this. It's never Kenji Time's fault. It's sad I can't really tell the two apart anymore. I slide my books into the return chute, and they crash into the cart with a pleasant thud. Whoa! Hello, Yuko. Yuko, however, doesn't seem as impressed as I. Ah! Hisayor, you scared me! Sorry, I thought you'd be used to that by now. Or is the literacy level here so low that nobody borrows any books? Huh? No, I don't think anyone here can read. Never mind. There are some battles that you can never win. Trying to explain jokes is one of them. My dad taught me that the hard way. Say, Yuko, have you seen Hanako about? She left class early, but she wasn't in her usual hiding place. Ah, I think I saw her sneak in before lunch. Oh, but I'm not supposed to tell anyone that. Oopsies. I just told you that I saw her leave. No need to stress out. Calm down. Oh, of course. She's probably in the back. Got any new books recently? Not since yesterday. Well, that's alright. I'll borrow this one. No, sorry. I'll let you know when we do, though. Okay. If there's one thing I know about librarians, part-time or otherwise, it's that they appreciate people who take a genuine interest in their work. I don't think there's anything typical about our Yuko. I walk the now familiar path to Hanako's reading nook, picking out a few titles along the way. Sometimes I find it hard to discover a book that will interest me among the shelves. An author's name and a two-word title don't mean much in a sea of similar words. As expected, Hanako sits on her beanbag, buried deep in a copy of Dance, Dance, Dance. Hi, Hanako. How's it going? I fight back the urge to ask why she left class early. If Lily's suspicions were right, then asking her about that could have the opposite effect. Best to leave it for the time being. Sometimes the best way to get an answer from someone is to never ask the question. Hello, Hisaya. I'm fine. Something seems off, and after a couple of seconds, I realize what it is. Hanako's smiling. Yeah, she is. I love her so much. She looks as if she's pleased to see me. It's a nice change from the usual instinctively frightened reaction, and something I hope I can see more of as we get to know each other better. That's good to hear. How's that book? I've heard it's a trip. It's good, I think. I've only just started it, so I don't really know. Fair enough. Let me know how it goes. I may borrow it once you're done. Sure. There's a good 15 minutes left in lunch. Not enough to really get into a book, but too much to stand around here doing nothing. And Hanako's already returned to her reading, so I doubt I'll get much conversation from her. Oh well, I'd better make myself comfortable. I slouch into a beanbag and crack open my book, but no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get myself into the atmosphere of the book. This is partly due to the lack of time, but the more distracting factor is Hanako. Every 10 or so seconds, she peers over the top of her book, but when our eyes meet, she quickly ducks behind the covers. I guess she did want to talk about something after all. What's up? You look like a prairie dog on lookout. Nothing. It's nothing. I've told you before, nothing means something when you say it like that. Hanako squirms a little in her beanbag, hoping that by changing her position, she'll find the words she's looking for. I was in an accident. Accident? Just now? Are you all right? Hanako shakes her head, her hair flowing around her shoulders in wisps of amethyst on a background of pale and dark flesh. No. When I was younger. It's all right, Hanako. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. Again, she shakes her head. No, I have to tell you. Oh, she's drawing a picture. Oh, this is going to be devastating. This is going to be harrowing. Whew, I'm not ready for this. All right. When I was young, I was in a fire. Probably, figured that much out myself. My house burned down and I nearly didn't make it. After that, I was alone. Did her parents die in this fire? Holy shit. Whew! I care about this girl now. This is emotional for me. Hanako's eyes glisten in the dim light of the library, and I reach out to grab her hand. It's okay, Hanako. You don't have to keep going. But I have to. Why? What brought this on? Last night, Lily told me about your hat. And I didn't think it was fair. Fair? That I knew about you, but you didn't know about me. I squeeze Hanako's hand a little. She didn't pull away. Don't be silly, but yes, I have a heart condition. I lean a little closer to Hanako. What I didn't tell Lily is that I had my first attack when a girl confessed to me. That's right. That's really embarrassing. I smile a little to try and break the tension. Really? Oh my god, now she's not going to confess to us. She's going to think that if she tells us how she feels, then we're going to have a reaction. So she's going to, really? I haven't heard from her in a while though, so I guess it's all over. It never really started. In some ways, not having heard from her again has helped me move on from that period of my life. So now we both know a little more about each other, but you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to. In fact, I feel a little bad even thinking about that whole incident. I can almost smell the hospital's disinfectant burning the back of my sinuses again. I imagine Hanako is going through the same thing now. When I was in the hospital, I went to the burn ward once, and only once. I turned around and went right back to my bed. To think that Hanako would have spent months in a place like that, smelling nothing but corrupted skin, strong disinfectant, sterile air, and she said she was all alone. Did her parents die? I'll have to ask Lily about it. I can imagine myself saying something dumb unintentionally. Thank you, Hiseo. I haven't told many people about this. To be honest, I haven't told many people about my circumstances either. Then, I won't tell anyone either. Deal. I changed my grip on Hanako's hand into a handshake as the warning bells chimed through the window. Well then, we'd better head back to class then, eh? Sure. Whoa, what's happening now? Act 3, Castling. Alright, we're into the next part, so I guess that's the end of the chapter. Oh, okay, by the looks of it, this is still the same day. Let's just keep going until bedtime. The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. A clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background on the verge of hearing. Does that even make sense? I don't care. Let's move forward. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome can't be changed. The diminutive playing piece makes a small click against the board. Like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute moves, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Mate. Damn, you're getting better at this every day. That or she's been holding back. I told you she's secretly good at this game. I'd never have thought it when we first met her, but she really has a knack for this game. Chess seems to have become a popular pastime for the two of us, hiding away in the tea room, playing a game or two after classes. Fancy another game? I have to finish my homework. Sorry. Oh well, I'll see you tomorrow then. But what about this? Hanako points to the tea set surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Don't worry about that, I've got it. Okay. See you. Later. I love you. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team, but I have other reasons than that for my coming here so often, and I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily is a good friend by now, but it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. Wait, I feel like this is another day. I feel like this is way in the future, but oh well, we keep it going. The small victories I feel every day as I see more of what she's like under her self-imposed shell, that's why I come here, most of all. As I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily, and decide to go outside to investigate. Are you quite sure? I'm sure. Ah, Hiseo. Hanako turns to see me with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, Hiseo is here as well. Afternoon, Lily. What's up? I was hoping, now that I've finished with my class representative duties for the day, oh, maybe it is the same day then, that I might have the two of you accompany me for tea at the Shanghai. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of school for a change. I'd be up for it. I don't have money, but I'd be up for it. I think Hanako had work to do, though. It's not all that much. Oh, I see. Alright, so you're busy when it's just Hanako and Hiseo time. But when Lily steps into the picture, you're all keen beans. I see how it is. Alright, I know my place. Wonderful! Wow, it seems we're decided then. Off we go, Shanghai time. I cast my eyes around the cafe as the three of us step in. I wonder who's going to be working here if Yuko's not on duty. As usual, there are only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is a quiet background hum. What do you mean, as usual? You've only been here once. Can't we have them both? Can we not have them both? That would work out well. I feel like we'd all have a lovely, mutual, happy relationship. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as it has been for the entire slow walk down the hill to the local town, though it's hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or for Hanako's reassurance. Both do. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako's to retract her cane, as Yuko quickly scares over to where we stand. Oh, so she's working. She's in two places at once. She can teleport. That's her thing. But soon replaces it right back where it had been. Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? She gives a deep bow, her well-delivered and professional introduction putting her in a good mood. It is a nice change from the norm for Yuko. Just tea, please, Hanako. Oh, wait. Just tea, please, Hanako. Hiseo? I'll have a slice of pie and a coffee. Fuck your tea. Just tea, please. Yuko gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the counter, and we make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. Are you okay, Lily? You look tired. That's just another way of saying I look like shit. Thanks for that. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed that she let it show. Class representative work can be very tiring, considering that it often means dealing with the, student council. Very tiring indeed. How do the other representatives go? Better than I, but not by much. Shizune is a harsh taskmaster, no matter whom she deals with. It doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why do you do it in the first place if it's that bad? Being a class representative is enjoyable, and I can deal with the responsibility well enough. It's just that the people around us sometimes... She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine that if anyone could make her do it, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako? I'll be back in a bit. Where's she going? With that, she leaves for the restrooms. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that were indeed her motivation. What situation? What's going on? Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it. I don't think it was you. But I think she's been getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? Oh, is Lily cut up that Hanako didn't want to go to the bathroom with her? Oh, she's getting independent. Silence reigns for a moment before 2 teacups, a pie, and a mug of steaming coffee appear in front of us. I notice that Yuko takes special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go. Thanks, Yuko. Thank you. With a quickened, silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave. Ah, that's right. I was meaning to ask you something, and now would be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday is coming up, and I was hoping that she might accompany me for present shopping in the city this weekend. Hanako's birthday is soon? I suppose it'd be a nice change to cheer her up a bit. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for what to do for her birthday? A party or anything? Not sure if a party would be the way to go. Hanako being Hanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be... Lily suddenly cuts herself short. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Whoa, she's got like ESP or something. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed if it was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Soon the 3 of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light, and it makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to like life here, as isolated as it may be. I finish off the last of my coffee and rest of the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. The coffee here is a little bitter for my tastes, but still quite good, better than what I can make for myself in any case. The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about a related topic. Hey, Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any other hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in asking such a question about her. It takes a little time to formulate a response. Oh, I guess I like singing a little. I'm okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much. Singing's not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how soft-spoken she is. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know all this, since she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now. What about me? Well, there's chess, obviously, but also... Well, there was soccer as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in hospital. This is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little put off by the direction this is taking, and the more I think about it, the more I am too. It sounds as if you've picked up quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. A soft ring gives us pause. As Lily reaches into her pocket, it becomes obvious that the sound's coming from her phone. Sorry. It's okay. Oh, she's off. Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking the call a little distance away to avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice to be popular. Hanako smiles, but doesn't take up the hook for further discussion. Oh, we're going to sleep? Oh, yeah, we're going to sleep. I end up just sitting back and closing my eyes, relaxing as best I can. It's nice and peaceful here. I wonder what it'd be like to have grown up somewhere like this, rather than in the city. You come from the city? Looks like I found something she wants to talk about. Better wake up. Yeah, you could say I was a city kid through and through. It sounds like a lot changed. It did. I'm still not quite sure what to make of it all, though. It's a bit of a culture shock in more ways than one. You must have gone through something like this when you first arrived at Yamaku, right? I'd imagine most of the students would. Not really. Hanako gazes a little to the side, looking unwilling to go on. I tilt my head inquisitively, but a couple of seconds pass with no further answer. But can't we deal with that on Monday? The fallout has hardly settled down from the last... I understand. I'll try to talk her down. You know what she's like when she gets locked onto an idea. Yes, thank you. I'll talk to you later then. All right. Goodbye. Lily's conversation ends with the snap of her phone closing. Flip phone, yo! She returns to our table, but doesn't take her seat. Me to go? Unfortunately, class representative work calls me once again. I can come with you. It's all right, Hanako. I'll just be going straight to the student council. There's no need to spoil a fine evening on my account. I can join you again for tea later tonight if you'd like. I may well need it. We agree on that plan, and Lily says her farewells to the both of us, taking her cane after Hanako passes it to her. Despite my offer to pay for Lily's share, she insists on giving us her portion of the bill, and gives her regards to Yuko as she takes her leave. It's just me and you, baby. It's just me and you. And then... we're alone. It may be all well and good to leave Hanako and me alone to have some time together, but all it typically means is the two of us sitting near each other in silence for a while. I wonder what I must look like to Hanako. I never thought of myself as a scary person, but to have someone my own age acting this way around me makes me intensely self-aware, as if it's my fault that she's so troubled. Want to order something else to keep us going? We haven't had much of a dinner after all. You've just had pie, mate. Hanako brightens and nods vigorously, glad that I brought up the topic for her. I catch Yuko's gaze, and she dutifully comes over to take her orders. Would you like something else? I'll just have a sandwich special and a hot chocolate. Bit late for coffee by now. Hanako? I'll have the same. With a nod and a bow, Yuko turns on the ball of her foot and returns behind the counter, where she busies herself fishing out bread and condiments and working the machine to make our drinks. Not a word is said between us as Yuko comes back. She smiles and gives us our food and drinks before moving to a customer who's called for her attention. I give up on the prospect of having much of a conversation with my companion and decide to just enjoy the meal, small as it may be. It tastes nice, as does most of the food here. After having a few mouthfuls, I notice something's missing, namely the sound of Hanako eating. Not hungry. She shakes her head from side to side. It's not that. Aw, I was all ready to have your share too. You looked troubled. Is something wrong? I'm startled by her thinking that I'm the one who looks troubled, but on second thought, maybe she's right. My face may have given away my emotions without me noticing. She's hardly a dim person. Quite the opposite. We're friends, right? Friends. Yeah. From the tone of her voice and shrinking posture, it looks as though I've just hit yet another landmine. This is another reason why interacting with her is so difficult. The self-imposed psychological barriers she puts up between herself and others, including me, and most likely even Lily. It's a shame that... I think that we... I'm a little taken off guard by Hanako's straightforward answer, all the more so since I was about to give up on getting any reply at all. I see. Am I wrong? Sorry, no, it's just hearing confirmation of that from you is reassuring. To pick up on what you said earlier, since coming to Yamaku, I've been a bit uneasy about how I should relate with others. I find myself chuckling a little. It's surprising how much of a relief that was. I can feel my face smiling as I pick up my cup of hot chocolate and bring it to my lips. Ah, that's hot. That's why I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for my drink to cool down first. I guess I'll wait too then. The both of us share a little chuckle. The situation isn't really that funny, but for some reason, it feels like laughing is the most natural thing to do right now. I guess we're both a bit wound up about each other. Be that as it may, it still feels a little nice. A little nice to have someone thinking about me like that, in her own way. Night time. Following a long, quiet trudge up the hill and into the school grounds, the two of us find ourselves between the two dormitories. Are you going to come up? A loud yawn escapes from Hanako's mouth before she has a chance to cover it. I have little doubt she's fairly tired by now. I'd better be off to my room then. See you tomorrow, Hanako. Good night. We separate and begin to walk our separate ways before I stop and look back. Hanako stands there waving to me as she smiles. I smile and wave back to her, and after a few seconds, she turns and walks up the stairs to her dormitory building, disappearing through the door. These little moments we share between us feel like a small treasure. One thing is sure, I want to protect that small, delicate smile she so fleetingly wears around a few people. I wonder about those feelings I have when Hanako's around, and when I'm able to do things for her, whether they may be the seed for something beyond what we share now. Maybe I'm falling in love, but we'll have to wait till the next part to find out. Thank you so much for watching. Things are getting really, 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 really cute. If you liked that episode, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I shall see you next time for more Katawa Shoujo. Jana!